Then we go to Chiron, which is in between. It's after Saturn. It's kind of hanging out there. And this isn't one that most people are very familiar with, but I stuck it in here in this order for that reason. So it is the key to your healing. Chiron, it looks like that little K symbol, like a key. And it is like a key, but it's like a K with a circle underneath of it in your chart. And it spends anywhere from 2 to 8 years in each sign. It has a really weird orbit. It spends a lot of time in Aries just because it has a very oblong orbit to it. So it'll just take its sweet ever loving time in Aries for some reason, but it rules Virgo. And what Chiron has to teach us is it really is that inner soul wound. So Chiron has a really interesting history to the lore of it. He was abandoned by his parents and he was adopted by another god who taught him lots of wonderful things, like taught him philosophy and archery and swordsmanship and just lots of intellectual studies, lots and lots of learning, and basically had a more idyllic upbringing that way. And Chiron was hanging out with Aries or with Hercules one day. And Hercules was just happily showing, like, there's a couple different versions of it, but this is the one that I resonate with most. Hercules and him were just checking out his weapons, like Hercules' weapons. So these are weapons of Hercules, and he's a god and all of this. And he was showing him his like bow and arrow, but accidentally he shot the arrow through Chiron's heart. It was like a total accident. It wasn't supposed to happen, but you have this god arrow through this through the heart of another god, but it created this wound within the heart that just won't heal, and it won't heal, and it won't heal, and just kind of staying that way. And then in another story after that, Chiron was there was another god. Zeus thought he was being really funny and he was punishing another god, and thought it would be really funny to tie him to a rock and make an eagle pick out his liver every single day, but because he was a god, it would regenerate. So he was tied to this rock, dying every single day, but then healing. And he's like, it's cool. Zeus says, like, you can be free of this, and another god will give up their immortal life to save you. And Chiron did that. So Chiron did the ultimate sacrifice. And Virgo has a very like self-sacrificing energy to it. That's why it rules Virgo. And so it is this internal wound, an arrow to the heart that is like, it's going to take forever to heal kind of a thing, because it's that soul wound, and has this very sacrificing energy. So all of us have Chiron within us. And when Chiron is in Aries, like it is right now, and it will be for a little while yet, and it's been there for years, it has a quality to it of helping us to identify our soul wounds with the Aries energy, with the warring energy, because so many of us here on the planet are healing that warring energy. And when it's actively in the sky, like now, even if that's not your Chiron, it will, it offers that gift of being able to help us process through the anger and the rage in Aries, or wherever it is, wherever your Chiron is, whatever placement it's in, is going to be an area where you have deeper soul growth to do. But because of that, you will master it, and it will provide lesson upon lesson upon lesson, because that sacrifice that we put in as we're manifesting it, as we're healing it and we're mastering it, will yield massive benefits. So Chiron takes about 49 years to go all the way around the sun. And so it has its like sweet time as it goes around everything. But Chiron holds many, many layers of healing for you. And then we get into Uranus, which is the key to aliveness. Uranus has this funny looking glyph that looks like a person with like two giant ears, kind of, or it's like an antenna, because Uranus is the energy of technology. And jumping ahead. And it spends about 7 years in each sign and rules Aquarius. So Uranus, wherever it is, it's going to do this shakeup. It's going to have this rebellion. That's why it's this aliveness energy. It just kind of takes things and like, bam, here you go. Here's something new. Here's something fresh. Whatever it is, it's going to be probably very unexpected. It's going to be very upside down feeling. But if we release control, We can enjoy the experience and even receive the gifts that it offers. So, an example of how Uranus does this right now, Uranus is transiting through Taurus. Taurus is the sign of money and of self worth and rules Venus. So, Uranus is kind of going through this whole process because it takes so long to go around the sun. Basically, what this means is that it's resetting all of our money energy on the planet. And the last time that Uranus transited through Taurus was the Great Depression. And we definitely saw a lot of financial shakeup there. We can point fingers at politicians or the war or whatever, whatever, whatever. But really, what it is this compilation of this energy that is manifesting on the planet that is just, we think we're so in control down here, and we're just not. And so we need to just let go. And the more that we let go, the more that things can reset and regrow and rebirth the way that they need to, and the more that we can just embrace it without so much fear. There really is nothing to fear. Everything is constantly dying and being reborn. That's part of life here on this planet. Everything. We are constantly in a state of grief and constantly in a state of renewal. And Uranus really brings that to the forefront because it will just kind of almost uncaringly reset whatever is there. And it's a gift and it's wonderful, but it can feel incredibly harsh and difficult and bumpy if we are fighting it. And then how we fight it kind of offers us the results of the after effect. Then we go into Neptune. So Neptune is your key to emotional ecstasy. This rules your internal world. It as far as like your subconscious internal world, so deeper than the moon. And it has the trident for the little glyph that shows up in your chart. And it spends about 14 years in each sign, and it rules Pisces. So wherever Neptune is, if it's interacting with other planets or anything like that, it'll kind of fuzz things out. Like if Neptune and Mars are hanging out, your Mars will kind of get muted a little bit. It'll just kind of like, it's it's like if you move too close to that device that makes your other devices not work. It's kind of like that with Neptune. So any of the outer planets that are interacting with the inner planets, the outer planets' energy is going to win. It's going to be more pronounced. So we see that here with Neptune, and it holds a lot of information. It's our key to emotional ecstasy because we know that we can't emotionally be happy and satisfied while our subconscious is in disarray, and like 90% of everything about us is our subconscious. So getting to know your Neptune energy can reveal a lot about what's actually driving you and motivating you. And because it spends 14 years in each sign, a lot of people that are born around the time you are having a similar experience with their subconscious. This is where we see generational things, like, all the people born in the 60s and 70s like have this kind of a thing or something like that. It's a duration of these outer planets that has this energy that has been infusing with the planet for that whole time, and it slowly changes. Each degree of a place has a different energy that it offers, but overall each of the signs has a kind of a fixed energy that it's offering. And then we get to Pluto. Pluto is the key to fearlessness and empowerment. So Pluto spends about 20 years in each sign, give or take, and it rules Scorpio. And its glyph is that like person with the like double head or like the arms up, all of that. And that is what Pluto will look like in your chart. So we talked about in the different energies that Scorpio is like the most powerful of all the signs because it offers transformation. So this is the planet of total transformation. Wherever your Pluto is in your chart, it will offer you complete and utter transformation in that thing. Like I was born in a generation that has Pluto in Libra. And so those that are born with that will experience a total and complete restructuring of relationships and how we interact with each other here on the planet, which I think we've definitely seen. It started that way like 10 plus years before I was born and continued after. And so we've seen a lot of these adults that are now, I'm 40 years old now at the time of recording this. So a lot of people that are older than me and younger than me are experiencing this Pluto energy of being being aware that we don't get to do relationships the way that we did before. And then previous to that, it was in Virgo. And so it's redoing all the details of life, redoing how the body is approached, because Virgo is a very body energy, like the medical care and all of that. And so and then after it moved out of Libra, it went into Scorpio. So those that are born with Pluto and Scorpio are here to basically totally transform transformation. And we have seen that as a huge rise on the planet, is the way that we are experiencing transformation is being transformed. So Pluto is the most powerful because, I mean, it's way out there and we can't even agree if it's a planet or not a planet or whatever, but the energy is undeniable. Wherever Pluto is, or if it's interacting, especially with other planets, you're just not going to be able to move forward in that thing without a deep and total reconstruction of everything that you've ever known, basically. So that's all. And then finally, the last one we're covering here, there are more asteroids, there's more celestial bodies, there's more things going on than we've covered, but these are essential as the basics. The last one is the North Node. Your North Node is always opposite of your South Node. A lot of charts they don't show the South Node on the chart. It'll just display the North Node. And it spends about a year and a half in each sign. And wherever the North Node is your soul's direction. It's where it is that you are going. It's your life path. It's the things that your soul agreed to learn while you're here on the planet. So it's the key to soul's progress and focus. And so wherever that was, the opposite sign is going to be where you were comfortable. That's your South Node. That's the thing that you've already mastered. But your North Node is the thing that you don't know how to do. You're not good at it yet, but the energy keeps showing up for you to learn it. And it's you might have some resistance to that one. It might feel like, no, I don't want to do that. I'm more comfortable over here on the opposite of it. But it has on unbelievable levels of discovery. Like, you could do a whole weekend retreat just uncovering what your North Node is for you and like what it is that you're doing, and kind of reevaluate every aspect of your life in light of this. Like, is this in alignment with this North Node energy of where it is that I contracted and I wanted to and I yearned to go towards? Because you were born on the planet at a specific time for a reason. And with this, you can see, boom, there it is. It's like, oh, that's the last one I would have expected. Or, oh, yay, like I'm so excited to learn that. Whatever it is, like this is the thing for you. So now that you know, you can move forward and confidently go figure out all of the things. I know that was a lot of information, and I hope that you do review it again and again, and that it is able to offer you more information each time that you do. Thank you so much.